Today I'm going to be working on the closet wall. Need a hand with the outside sheeting. Is the tallest point. So I'm going to wait for Amanda to get done work and then we might work on that. Figure I'll get this wall done just so we can start running some electrical. It's almost that time. Gonna move some stuff, tidy up, and then start building the wall. We're almost done the exterior sheeting. And then it's just put some house wrap on, some Tyvek. And then we can insulate, do electrical, stuff like that. Is that a good spot, pups? Is that a good spot? This wall isn't going all the way up. We want the heat to circulate. The solar panel or the solar charger is going in this corner with the batteries. So we want the closet to stay just as warm as the rest of the building. So we want enough room to upgrade the battery bank in the future. So I don't want to put the door right where, you know, the batteries are going to be. But I think probably 5 feet is plenty of room to start the door. What I need to do, we already have the door. I just need to go and double check what swing it is, left or right. I'll be back. Okay, so it is a right-hand swing door, so that's good. So maybe we'll start at a 4.5 feet, just in case we need to increase the size of the batteries. And then the rest of it's going to be all, you know, sheets, blankets, stuff like that. Cleaning supplies, I would imagine. Everything that a registered massage therapist needs. Oh, what a handsome boy. I'm going to pre-cut my door opening, just give it a relief cut. That way it's easier to cut out the base plate once the wall's up and it keeps everything straighter. It's a 30-inch door, so I'm going to cut a 32-inch opening for the rough framing. Now I can flip this back over. Okay, there's a start. The wind is picking up. In case you couldn't hear that. Okay, we are probably on our last cut, so I'll stand the wall up. We'll level it. This is exactly why you would nail the bottom plate and the top plate at the same time. Nope, I'm just going to put one in to hold it while I figure everything else out. Yep. Okay. All right, so that'll hold everything up. Beauty. Beauty. This side, probably not so much. Or it's perfect. I just need to fix that one. It's not even attached yet. Okay. So this side's good. It's not gonna fall down on me. Did you get it? That dang deer fly, huh? you guys. It's like it was designed to go here. I'm gonna put a couple more of those up. And we are laughing. So the rain is here. It's coming down pretty good. I only have a couple of 2x4s that aren't completely warped, so I'm just going to put the last two up, and then we'll have to mill some more once I get the tractor running. We got the base plate stretched all the way across. I'm going to cut the header to fit, or the top plate to fit, and then we're going to get at least our last stud in. And then I just have to throw a couple studs for the door, and then two more to follow the framing. I built an 8-foot wall. Because we're using rough lumber and it's not always perfect, there might be some height differences between the new wall and the original, because 2" on one end might be 1 7/8" on the other end, and it's just we don't necessarily care that much. Now if we were selling the lumber, that would be totally different, but we're not. Alright, so that's pretty much all I can do. We have a little friend in here today. Let's see if I can get it. Ooh. Hopefully you saw that. Sounds like it's getting good out there. I guess I should probably turn the camera off and head on in. Today I'm going to be working on an interior wall, and then I'm going to see if I can get some electrical run. We're almost done the sheeting. There's just a couple of small little pieces left. So I'm going to jump on the inside and see what I can get done. So right here is where the front lobby waiting room is going to be. And so to have some privacy, we're going to put a wall in just to divide the two spots. Just a quick, simple interior wall, and we'll go from there. Let's see if we can move on to some electrical work. Tractor is down. I can't get a log onto the trailer or onto the sawmill, so we went out and bought 8 2x4s in order to build this wall. I love this kiln dry. Hi, pup. You okay? You okay, buddy? Yeah. Kiln dried. It's perfect stuff. It's amazing. Except it warps as soon as you get it into any sort of atmosphere. $93. So we bought enough we only bought enough to do this one wall. So I just need to make sure that, look at that. Can you see that? This is brand new. They were straight when we bought them. Not so straight anymore. But this is what we have to build houses out of. Anyway, like I was saying, we have enough to do the wall in its entirety. So, top plate, bottom plate, and then all the studs. So we just need to leave the top plate and bottom plate long, which is actually going to be short because we're leaving a 4-foot door, a 36-inch door. 36-inch door. Yeah. Let's get cutting. Okay, so that's the top, or that's the studs. Now we just need to measure out our top and bottom. We're ready to go. We're going to use that 2x6 in a second. So the best part is I miscounted. But whatever. I took the level up. I was working on the porch this morning. All right. So I just need the 6-foot level wherever we put it. Now the whole thing is we want the front alcove to be in line with this interior wall. So now I'm going to measure from that wall to this wall and we'll square it up. I'll square that corner just to be safe. Whoa, that doesn't happen very often. Okay. So we're going to do the Pythagorean theorem. This side is going to be 3. This side is going to be 4. And when we touch both lines, we should be 5. Well, okay. That does not happen very often at all. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is attach the top to there, and I'm going to run a 2x6 all the way up. I have to put a backer in the ceiling, A, to stabilize this end of the wall, and B, to cap the end of the wall, because we're going to clad the wall with like 3/4 inch boards, and so it'll give it a little nice reveal. So I'll have to climb up there, put in some blocking, and then Bob's your uncle. So now I can nail ceiling board almost bang on. Beautiful. Dang near bang on right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure. Oh, you can't see me at all. So I'm going to measure on both sides of the bottom and get the outside beam post centered. Sixteenths, 15/16. And now I will nail it in at the bottom. Bang on. Bang on. All right. So, there we go. I need to put a little shim in on this side, and then I can attach that. So the top plate, the extra top plate that I put on, the secondary one, is slightly, there's a lip. So it's slightly not the same size. So I'll put a shim in, and then I'll secure it. So right now, that is the interior wall. So now I'm just gonna start drilling some holes. So, I don't know where Amanda wants to plug things in. By code, you're supposed to have a plug 2 feet on each corner, and then every 8 feet after that. But we don't need that here. It's not a living space. This is for work, and no one is going to be using it. We need some lights. We need to plug in her hot stone treatment. We need internet, right? Like we don't need a lot. So the wood stove is probably going to go in that corner, and then we're going to have a plug in the center of the floor to plug her table in. That's a mechanical table. So I need power to switches, then power to the lights, obviously, and a ceiling fan so we can move the hot air around. But other than that, I need 2 plugs in the reception area. I need 1 plug in the closet, and then I need power for switches. So nothing major. 4 or 5 plugs. I figure I might just put a plug under the window just in case she wants to plug music for her music. So there you go. I'll put a plug under the window, and then I'll put a plug in this corner. Probably over here, actually. Maybe both, just to be safe. 1 in the closet. I'll put 1 under that window, and then we'll run power to the reception. Sounds good. And then she can tell me I'm wrong when she gets home. too far away. So just putting some vapor barrier on before I put my boxes on. And I did change my mind. I'm going to extend over to that corner too. You can never have too many plugs. So I'm going to put another plug in the closet, probably right down over here, so that way she can warm up her stuff. To be honest, I don't know what else you would need a plug for a closet, but I'm going to do it anyway. This is going to be for all the lights in the building. It's going to be on its own circuit. So I'm going to run it over and down to the porch and reception switches. And then I'll run it back over and down. Today we're carrying on with some insulation. We don't have the windows or the door in yet. Amanda's working, so I'm just doing what I can by myself. I'm going to insulate what I can, where I can, and then we're going to put the other two windows in. So I'm going to insulate the walls first. Now, this should be slightly tight, because these bats are designed for 1.5-inch studs, and these are 2-inch studs. So let's see how we're doing. Beautiful. That's perfect. Okay. So I want to split the insulation and slide it around our wiring. That way we're not compressed and we're not, gonna bulge out. So we'll slide this in behind. And then we'll stick it on top of our plate. And that is that. Look at that, our first piece of insulation. Ooh, so it is 30 degrees today. So we are a little warm. Sun isn't even out, it's all humidity. But what are you gonna do? So this is the rose wool from Owens Corning. You could sleep in this stuff and not get itchy. Hence no mask, hence no long sleeves. This stuff is wonderful. So we do have the Tyvek, or the house wrap on the outside. So we are protected. But our plan is to actually start the siding this week too, so. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Our birds have flown the coop. All the chicks are gone. So we are now able to put in those windows because we don't have to worry about the birds anymore. And then around the back of the electrical boxes, I'm actually going to notch a little bit of the insulation out, but leave insulation behind the box. So we already have our vapor barrier wrapped around the box, and then we're going to have insulation behind the box as well. So we just give a rough estimation on where the box is. We're going to come over a couple inches, and then we're going to go down a couple inches. And that'll be that. And then we have to split as well. And I know, most of the guys that are going to be watching this have obviously done insulating before, but it's just for people who haven't and want to learn. We just don't want to have anything super tight and compressed. There we go. Because the insulation works by being fluffy. So if you're all too tight and compressed, then it doesn't have that insulating value. And there. So we have insulation behind the electrical box, the outlet, and in front. We are obviously not sponsored by Owens Corning, but this rose wool is amazing. I love it. No itch. These are our 2x6 bats. These are an R20 insulation. 22 insulation. There is no front or back. It's only front that you want to face. The side is where air can flow through. Here in Canada, we don't use paper-backed insulation. We put a vapor barrier on after our insulating is done. Now, I'm not saying that we haven't used paper-back insulation. It's just not the norm anymore. So I'm going to take the poly that I have wrapped around the boxes. I'm going to tape them up so that way when we do poly the walls, I just have to make a little slice and then I can pull that poly through. Makes life just a little bit easier. So now you just make a little slice in the vapor barrier and then you pull that through. And Bob's your uncle.